There have been some rumors going around that The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which, side note, is finally releasing this week. Supposedly Tears of the Kingdom is the last significant, and I'm doing big air quotes there, game for the Nintendo Switch. Now this has just been a report from various industry insiders, and normally I don't like to talk about these because I think 99% of industry insiders have no clue what they're talking about and kind of just make stuff up. But given that this channel is the stop for all your Nintendo Switch related news, and a bunch of people are now all together saying that the Switch might not be getting any more significant games, I feel like we have to talk about it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how likely I think it is that Tears of the Kingdom will be the Switch's last big significant game, whether I think that's true or not, and if I do think it's true, well, what comes next? Because no more games on the Switch, that essentially means the Switch is going to be phased out and like die soon. When would the next console come out, and what games would it launch with? All stuff we're going to cover in this video. So put on your speculation hats and let's dive in. But first, a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Manscaped, the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Taking care of your own personal hygiene is one of those things that's so easy to neglect, but you can only be at your best when you look and feel at your best. And Manscaped makes it super easy to feel your best every single day. They hooked me up with a bunch of stuff from their all-in-one Performance Package 4.0, and these are the sort of personal hygiene items that now that I use, I really can't imagine living without. First off, we have the Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer. It's by far the best electric trimmer I've ever personally used. It's also waterproof with Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology, which helps completely reduce nicks and cuts on areas of the body you wouldn't want to get nicks and cuts on. Seriously though, everything about this thing is just made to make it as easy as possible to make sure you're feeling your best. Everything from the built-in lights to make sure you know what you're trimming, to the completely wireless charging station. The Lawnmower 4.0 is absolutely perfect for shaving, but if you want to get rid of nose or ear hairs, the Weed Whacker's got you covered. It's got the same skin-safe technology, so you don't have to worry about any irritation, and the ultra-high-speed blades easily remove any nose or ear hair. On top of that, you also get the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray. The Crop Preserver can be used right after you shower for all-day body odor protection, and the Crop Reviver is a super convenient, refreshing spray just for whenever you need it. For a limited time, if you order the Performance Package now, not only do you get all of that, but also the Shed Travel Bag and Manscaped Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. The travel bag is perfect too, because it literally fits everything you just got in the package. It's super convenient, and if you go to manscaped.com today, you'll get 20% off plus free international shipping plus the travel bag and boxer briefs when you use code SWITCHSTOP at checkout. Seriously guys, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not able to live your life to the fullest, and Manscaped makes it super easy and convenient, so click the link in the description, use our promo code, and make sure to always use the right tools for the job. So first of all, who's reporting on this? Well, this rumor has been floating around for the last couple of months, and it was initially brought up by GameIndustry.biz head Christopher Dring. He said that after Zelda, Nintendo doesn't have a significant game for quite some time. And then reporter for VGC Andy Robinson said, in addition, from what he's hearing, he wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo starts talking about new hardware by 2024, and he's not convinced that there's another huge first-party game other than Zelda left on Switch. So, oh no, is Tears of the Kingdom the final game coming out on the Switch? No, it's not. It's obviously not, because Pikmin 4 has already been announced and dated for July. But to be fair, both these reporters said they hadn't heard of a big, significant first-party game, and Robinson even clarified that he doesn't consider games like Pikmin or Kid Icarus to be big first-party titles. I guess that moniker is reserved for Mario, Zelda, and the likes. And it is true that after Pikmin 4, we really don't know much at all about what's gonna come out on Switch, which lends credence to the idea that there's not gonna be anything else big coming out on the console. Here's what is undoubtedly the case. Nintendo will have a big game for this holiday. They have big holiday games every single year. In 2017, they had Mario Odyssey come out at the end of October. 2018 had Smash Bros. 2019 had Pokemon. 2020 was weird because of COVID, but it had a new Zelda in terms of Hyrule Warriors and Super Mario 3D All-Stars. 2021 gave us Metroid Dread and Mario Party Superstars, and 2022 once again gave us Pokemon. So it's clear that they like to have at least one, maybe two big games for the holidays that'll sell a lot of units. Nintendo can't rely on the Pokemon Company for 2023 as they're making DLC for Scarlet and Violet, and that doesn't really count as a big new game that they can put on store shelves. So Nintendo will have something. It's not going to be Zelda, because obviously that comes out in a couple days. They could have a big new Mario game, be it 2D or 3D. It could be that big new Donkey Kong that's always been rumored, or it could be two slightly smaller games, like a combination of Metroid Prime 4 and another Mario Party or something like that. Regardless, they will will have something, but the question is, will it be on Switch? My gut instinct says yes. I don't think that they're gonna launch Tears of the Kingdom in May, which is a huge tentpole genre and generation defining title, and then they launch a new console later this year. That just doesn't seem right to me necessarily, but it is more than possible. They could also definitely launch like a midway point revision of a Switch Pro, but in that case, if they launched a Switch Pro, I don't think their big holiday game would be exclusive to the Switch Pro, therefore it would still be on Switch, and that doesn't fit with these rumors. So let's talk about it logically. If there were no more big games on the Switch, and we know for a fact they're gonna have a big holiday game because it's Nintendo, and of course they will, then that means they have to have a Switch 2 coming out before the holidays. I don't think they're gonna announce a new console until at least June. Announcing a new console in the month that you just launched Tears of the Kingdom is a crazy poor marketing decision. So let's say June, or honestly July at the earliest, is when they announce this new console. From announced to release, let's say it has an incredibly short, one of the shortest ever times of maybe 4 months. The Switch was announced in September and then came out the following March, and that was one of the quickest reveal to releases ever. So cutting that down even more to 4 months sounds crazy, but let's just go along with it for, you know, the sake of this video. So let's say the Switch 2 is announced at the start of July, then 2 months later at a suspiciously placed live event, they demo this console for the first time and show off what could be its launch lineup, and then it launches a month or two later, either at the end of October or start of November, just before the holiday rush. I'm gonna be honest, that kind of lines up. Regardless, there's points both for and against this theory, and if Tears of the Kingdom is the last big Switch game, then this would 100% be Nintendo's course of action. There's really no other way they could do it, because otherwise they'd be cannibalizing the holiday 2023 sales, and Nintendo's not gonna do that. There's no way they don't have big games for the holiday. So it's interesting to think about, but honestly, there's one big thing that makes me think this is not going to be the case at all. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass doesn't end until the end of 2023. We'll probably get Wave 6 somewhere around maybe October, November, or heck, even in December. That would be long after their new console has already been announced, and probably after their new console has already been released. Launching new hardware like this is something Nintendo must have had planned years in advance, and I doubt they'd want to compete with themselves by releasing a brand new console that's super new and shiny and you should still buy it, but oh yeah, we're releasing new Mario Kart tracks on our old console too. It just doesn't seem to make sense at all. I don't think Nintendo or any company really has ever done that. I don't know, between Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the fact that Pikmin's coming out in July, and if they were making a new console, they would just wait and save it for that, the fact that Scarlet and Violet are also getting a DLC update later this year, it just doesn't make sense for Nintendo to release a new console that doesn't have any sort of backwards compatibility. At the very most, they'd do a Switch Pro or a Switch 2 that can still play the older Switch games, but in that case, if it has backwards compatibility, I don't see Nintendo releasing Switch 2 exclusive games during this holiday, because that would completely cannibalize the massive install base that the Switch already has. And essentially, that's what it comes down to. All signs point to Nintendo not cannibalizing this massive install base. Again, the Switch has already sold over 100 million units. If Nintendo can, and they can because they obviously are, you know, well within their right to do this, they're probably just going to support the Switch for as long as they can. Why would you ever start over and put your games only on a console that less people have access to, when you could just kind of put it on both and have more of a gradual transition between generations? And given that these industry insiders are suggesting the exact opposite of a gradual transition and saying that, hey, this is going to be the last major Switch game, something seems afoot. I think it's incredibly fishy and probably just wrong. I mean, to be honest, these industry insiders have, well, they have spotty track records at best and are just completely guessing at worst. Even if I do give them the benefit of the doubt and say that, hey, their sources are actually legitimate, or they actually have sources in the first place, which again is a topic for another video, this entire situation just seems way too fishy. So I've laid out so far what Nintendo would do if Tears of the Kingdom was their last Switch game, but ultimately, hopefully I've convinced you that I don't think it is. And hey, if it is and Nintendo comes out with a brand new console that's not Switch related at all, let us know down in the comments below what you'd want us to change our name to. I mean, we can't really keep it as Switch Top if Nintendo announces something like, I don't know, the GameCube 2 or whatever, so let us know down below. But now let's just imagine and speculate here and say that, hey, the Switch Switch 2 is coming out this holiday, and Nintendo is not making another big Switch game ever after Tears of the Kingdom. What games should then come onto the Switch 2 and launch with it? Well, obviously I don't think we're gonna launch with a Mario Kart, but because we're still getting updates to the Mario Kart on Switch, I don't think we're gonna launch with a Pokemon, because again, we're still getting updates to Pokemon on Switch. But you know a franchise that sells a lot of units and we haven't gotten a new one in a long time? Oh yeah, any mainline Mario, whether that's 2D or 3D. If a brand new Nintendo console launches later this year and it doesn't launch with a mainline Mario game, I don't know what Nintendo has been doing. It is their flagship franchise, their flagship mascot. He just got his billion-dollar movie released earlier this year. If they're going to launch a console and they want to do it successfully and they want to sell a lot of units and copies over the holiday season, a brand new mainline Mario game is the way to do it. They could additionally add some more casual stuff in there as well. We haven't gotten a Mario Party in a while, but I don't see them launching a mainline Mario and a Mario Party on the same console at the same launch time. But we could get that 1-2 Switch sequel that was rumored a long time ago, and apparently according to the rumors and leaks, it was basically finished and then just shelved because it wasn't good enough and they were reworking it and whatnot. We could totally get that. I think it was called Everybody's 1-2 Switch, or we could just get something completely unique. I also would not be completely surprised if we got a more adult offering. Now, of course, this could be something first party. Maybe Metroid Prime 4 finally comes out, or maybe we get that Kid Icarus Uprising HD remaster, which I guess isn't really more adult, but caters to an older demographic than Mario for sure. I mean, just imagine that for a second. A brand new Nintendo Switch console launching with a mainline Mario and a Kid Icarus remake? That would be insane, but we could also get some third-party support here. Instinctively, I want to say Call of Duty, but I don't think that's going to happen because the Activision merger has recently been blocked and they're gonna have to, you know, appeal it, and it's gonna be a whole thing, and I don't think they'll be able to put Call of Duty on the Switch until the merger goes through. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But what I do think could totally happen is Microsoft could give Nintendo Halo the Master Chief Collection. Think about it. Microsoft wants to come off very much as a non-competitive and non-exclusive company because that's what's currently blocking their massive merger, is that Sony is saying, hey, they're gonna have all the exclusives now, and it's kind of true, they will. They'll have all of Activision and Blizzard's games and Bethesda and, you know, obviously all the mainline Microsoft games, and they can just at any point in time say, oh, nope, actually these are all exclusive to Xbox and PC. But if Microsoft were to give Halo the Master Chief Collection to Nintendo, it would essentially be a giant middle finger to Sony. It would essentially allow them to say in the court of law, these claims that Sony's making about us being exclusive and this essentially being a monopoly for the gaming business, those are not true or founded in any sort of reality. I mean, look, Halo is our #1 flagship franchise because it is, and we just gave the biggest and best Halo game, the Master Chief Collection, which has pretty much every Halo game in it, we just gave that to Nintendo, another console manufacturer. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense for Microsoft to do it. It would make sense for Nintendo to not turn it down because I don't really see any, like, that doesn't harm Nintendo. Getting Halo on a Nintendo console would actually be huge for Nintendo because it would sell a lot of units. So yeah, we kind of got off track here, but honestly, I think this was worth it. If the Nintendo Switch 2 or any sort of new Nintendo console comes along the pipeline and ends up releasing later this year, and we don't get any more games for our beloved Nintendo Switch, then the lineup for the brand new console would be something along the lines of a Mario mainline game, a Kid Icarus remake, and Halo. That, like, would be insane, and that's actually kind of realistic, I think. This is very, you know, specific predictions because I like being specific because then we can look back on it and say, oh, I was wrong, or oh, holy crap, I was right. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. I'm actually genuinely curious. Like, let's just put aside all speculation for a minute and go, hey, there's a brand new Nintendo console. It's launching November 2023. It doesn't have backwards compatibility with the Switch and it can't play any Switch games. What are the 3 games you'd want to see it launch with that are obviously somewhat realistic? Like, don't say a new Zelda because we just got one or are about to get one. I don't know, man. That's all I wanted to say with this video, though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom, and let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this whole Nintendo Switch potentially being dead situation. Hit the subscribe button if you made it this far into the video because I'm sure that means you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. With that out of the way, this might be the last time. I can never say this if the Switch dies and they don't, you know, make a new Switch. So I'm Thomas on the Switched Off, signing off. Peace. Obviously that was a joke. I'll make more videos between now and whenever Nintendo's next console comes out.